G'day everyone, Doctor Colin here with another 25 random history facts in almost 5 minutes. To help me, this time I've got my buddy Kunscap Van. Let's get cracking. On August 6, 1945, American forces dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. The bomb exploded 18,000 feet above ground and killed around 70,000 people. The intense heat from the blast permanently scorched shadows into the environment of the people and objects directly in the path of the blast. The term berserker refers to a Norse warrior who would enter battle wearing a bear skin as a symbol of the god Odin's strength. Before a battle, they would go into an uncontrollable rage, unaffected by blows and fueled by adrenaline. Some believe they may have ingested a psychoactive drug. Ivan the Terrible was Tsar of Russia from 1547 to 1584. He was renowned for his cruelty, including such acts as beating his pregnant daughter-in-law into miscarriage, blinding the architect of St. Basil's Cathedral and murdering his own son. He also created the Oprichniki, Russia's first secret police force. Frederick Bailey Deeming was a notorious serial killer who was known for murdering his wives and children. He murdered his first wife and 4 children in July 1891 and buried them under the hearth in their home. The bodies were found after Deeming was arrested for murdering his second wife in a similar manner. Deeming has often been considered as a likely suspect for Jack the Ripper. In around 130 CE, a Chinese inventor named Zhang Heng created an object that is reportedly the world's first functioning seismograph. Supposedly, when the device detected tremors in a region, a metal ball would roll out of one of the 8 dragon heads on the outside into the mouth of one of the toads at its base to indicate the direction. The Mayans, Indians and Babylonians have all been credited with inventing the number 0 independent of each other. 0 came into Western usage via the Moors, not the Moops, when they conquered Spain in the 710s and gained popularity in the 1600s. Afghanistan was a far different place before the advent of the Taliban. Women gained the right to vote in the 1920s, and in the 1970s they comprised 15% of the legislative body. In the 1990s, more than half of Afghanistan's school teachers and about half of their public servants and doctors were women. The moa is a genus of extinct bird that once roamed the picturesque wilds of New Zealand. There were 9 different forms of moa, and the 2 largest species were Dinornis robustus and Dinornis novae zelandiae, which stood around 3.6 metres or 12 feet tall and weighed around 230 kilograms. Though the moa is believed to have died out in 1440 due to overhunting, some people have reported sightings right into the present. The much-loved children's author Dr. Seuss occasionally ventured into writing for adults as well. His 1939 book The Seven Lady Godivas featured a group of sky-clad sisters who were trying to educate people about horses. The book only sold 2,500 copies of its 10,000 first print run, and Seuss considered it his greatest failure. However, copies have been seen recently fetching prices upwards of $300. Not bad for a book that originally had a $2 price tag. In the early 1800s, German scientists studying botulism, or sausage poisoning as it was then known, first recorded how the condition affects neurotransmitters and creates muscle weakness and paralysis. This became the basis for Botox, which was useful for various medical disciplines, but a paper published in 1989 told of its benefits in temporarily decreasing frown lines, prompting its now common use for cosmetic purposes. Famed crooner Dean Martin was known for his handsome, rugged looks, but not many knew that he sported a set of broken knuckles, a broken nose and a scarred lip from his days as a 15-year-old prize fighter under the moniker Kid Crochet. To disguise these wounds, Martin would often be holding a glass or looking in a certain direction when on screen. Acclaimed singer Julio Iglesias was originally a star football player. As a law student, Iglesias played as goalkeeper for Real Madrid. Unfortunately, a serious car accident cut his sporting career short. His lower spine was smashed and he was incapable of walking for 2 years, during which he learned to play guitar and sing. The rest, as they say, is history. Kim Jong-il, former dictator of North Korea, was a massive movie buff. He possessed a collection of more than 20,000 videotapes and DVDs, and his favourite franchises included James Bond, Rambo, Friday the 13th and Godzilla. In 1973 he authored a book called On the Art of Cinema. Legendary actor Christopher Lee is one of the most prolific and decorated actors of all time. Lee has the world record for the most amount of on-screen sword fights, appeared in over 100 films including the Star Wars, James Bond and Lord of the Rings franchises, and was awarded the title of Commander of the Order of the British Empire, received a knighthood, a BAFTA Academy Fellowship, Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters in France, and was named 2005's most marketable star in the world by USA Today. His most iconic role was as Count Dracula, whom he portrayed 9 times. A dagger found buried with Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun was analysed and found to have been made from a meteorite. studies discovered that the metal in the blade comprised the same elemental makeup as metallic meteorites, which helped explain why ancient Egyptians used to refer to a substance they called iron of the sky. Infamous prohibition gangster John Dillinger was mowed down by federal agents in 1934 outside the Biograph Theatre where he'd been watching a film. After, his body was displayed at the Cook County morgue where this infamous photograph was taken. Don't be alarmed, it's actually Dillinger's arm underneath the sheet. Get your mind out of the gutter. For centuries it was believed that Troy was not a real place, but simply the invention of Greek poet Homer. This changed of course when Troy was found by Heinrich Schliemann in 1870. Troy was destroyed in the 13th century BCE, but whether or not a giant wooden horse was involved can't be ascertained at this point for certain. The world's first full-length feature film was the story of the Kelly Gang. Created by Charles Tate in 1905, it ran for 1.5 hours in a time where films usually only lasted 15 minutes. Surfing was invented by Polynesians, but was also found in Tahiti, Samoa and Tonga, and first recorded by explorers in Hawaii in the 1760s. Arthur Conan Doyle was a renowned spiritualist who was unfortunately quite gullible. He believed wholeheartedly in the legitimacy of the Cottingley fairies' photographs, even when it was exposed as a hoax. Pythia was a name given to the Oracle of Delphi, who was a priestess who resided in the Temple of Apollo and was thought to be capable of prophecy. Scientists believed the visions were the result of poisonous vapours in the temple causing hallucinations. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was one of the most prolific composers of all time, penning over 626 opuses in 35 years, the first being Andante in C major, which he wrote when he was 5. He wrote his first symphony when he was 8 years old. Hollywood actress Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier of Monaco married in April 1956, making her a princess consort. The couple had 3 children, and Princess Grace gave up acting to focus on her royal duties and philanthropic work. French Impressionist painter Claude Monet was severely affected by cataracts, and this affected the visual style of his paintings, such as the colours and blurriness of the images, and he underwent a surgery in 1923, removing the cataract in his right eye. He did a series of paintings showing the same scenes through the opposite eye. He hated them so much he destroyed many of them. Eyeglasses as we know them were first invented around 1286 in Italy, with the first pictorial evidence coming from the 1300s in a painting of Hugh of St. Cher by Tommaso da Modena. Well, there you go, 25 more nuggets of knowledge to drop on friends, family and colleagues. If you liked the video, remember to give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click subscribe, and if you'd like to check out some of these videos, click the thumbnail. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.